My last question before,
Yes.
before we let him go
Mm-hmm.
is, what are your thoughts about DNA fragmentation?
So, good question. So DNA fragmentation we're talking about in the sperm, right? And so we just actually published a paper on it because we've been studying it now or testing for DNA fragmentation in New Zealand for almost 10 years now that we've been using one type of test. And we see about 7% of the men that we test that are really, we consider of high risk. So they're older, usually older than 40, and have other lifestyle factors.
Sure.
And we see that about 7% have high DNA fragmentation, which we know from the studies suggests that they're going to have a harder time getting pregnant or have more miscarriages. I believe that that data is pretty strong for that. It's not absolute though. We know that there's guys that can have 50% fragmentation and still have a normal baby.
Okay.
But the averages are that if they have a high DNA fragmentation, they have a lower chance of being pregnant.
So would you agree that that the DNA fragmentation test would probably help give answers, but perhaps not a solution? It may give us an answer as to why something happened. Like say, for example, if the embryo quality is poor and the DNA fragmentation is high, that may be the reason for the poor quality embryos.
Yes. Although there hasn't been a good a relationship for that established. The DNA fragmentation is such that it's not so severe that it causes aneuploidy or abnormal embryos. It results in lower pregnancy or miscarriage.
Sure.
And there are solutions. If we see that result in improvement there, and we've seen that. So we've seen benefits there, but usually it's guys that are older with poor motility. The other part about the DNA fragmentation story that I think is really interesting is that the egg can fix a lot of the DNA fragmentation. So that's a part of why the story isn't always just one-sided. We look at the results and we say, oh, this should be a problem, but the other part of the equation is the egg can fix it. And we don't know if the egg has the capacity in this couple to do that. Younger eggs do, older eggs maybe not as much. So
again, coming back to this tale of the egg being more potent.
Yeah, the egg, like we know, mom knows best. Yeah.
Okay, good.